We had seen last time that homeostasis strives to maintain a constant internal body environment, and this environment has something to do with about 5 factors of homeostasis that must be brought under control. We had seen how temperature is brought back to normal in case it goes low or increases. We had also seen other factors through mention included blood glucose, blood pH, and also ionic concentration, and also osmoregulation to combine with that factor. Today, our second factor is controlling glucose levels. The cells of our body gets glucose as one of the products of digestion of carbohydrates. That means every time a person consumes a carbohydrate, there is normally an increase in the concentration of glucose in their blood, and this glucose must be brought back to its normal concentration because too much of it will make the body fluids to become hypertonic, and every time they become hypertonic, the cells will lose water and will become crenated. That's knowledge in cell physiology. So excess glucose must either be converted to glycogen or broken down to produce energy, and even sometimes must be changed to fats in case it is too much. In controlling glucose level, this normally happens under the watch of 2 hormones, and these 2 hormones are normally produced by the pancreas, and the hormones themselves are insulin and glucagon. Now, they being produced in the pancreas, but they must work in the liver. So they must be transported from their site of production to their target organs. That means there are blood vessels that move from pancreas and to the liver, meaning that they are normally in a communication. And we can visualize this to even imagine how the glucose is normally taken from the intestines to the liver itself. So here is another visual. When we think of high glucose concentration, it means that it must be converted. The excess glucose must be converted so that there won't be factors which are affected. There are no processes which are affected. And in case there is too much glucose in the blood, it is the work of insulin to carry out metabolic processes that will see a decrease in these levels. And in case there is very low concentration of this particular substance, then it is the work of glucagon to see how more glucose will be formed. And in case these two are not brought about, a disease called diabetes comes in. And diabetes, we normally know that they are of 2 types. And this particular one that has to do with blood glucose, it is the type of diabetes that is brought about when there is insufficient production of insulin in the blood. And for this reason, the body is not able to convert the excess glucose to glycogen or to fats for storage. So every time a meal is eaten at this particular time, here we have a graph of time against concentration, I mean concentration against time, there will be a spike, there will be an increase in the glucose concentration in this particular area. And we can also see that the normal set is here, because we can be able to establish that the glucose increased and after a certain time it was brought back to normal. So all this is in excess. So we would ask ourselves, how does it work? In the pancreas, the production of glucagon and insulin happens, but these two hormones work in the liver, and in the liver there are normally two types of cells. We have the ones that we call beta cells and those that we call alpha cells. So the function of insulin is not normally to convert. That is not the function. The function of insulin is to stimulate, and specifically insulin stimulates beta cells. It stimulates the cells of the liver to carry out three functions. The function number one is to convert the excess glucose to glycogen for storage. The other function is to stimulate liver cells to break down glucose to produce energy and carbon dioxide. And the third function is to stimulate the liver cells to convert glucose into fats for storage. And the reverse is true for glucagon. Glucagon will only work when there is low concentration of glucose, and for that reason it will stimulate liver cells to convert glycogen to glucose, and also to stop the oxidation of glucose to carbon dioxide and energy. And finally, it will also inhibit the liver cells from converting glucose to fats, and at that particular time glucose will be brought back to normal. Now, I have mentioned that insulin brings about conversion or breakdown, that is oxidation of glucose to carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide being produced here is normally produced through a process that we call respiration. And there's normally a problem with this, because carbon dioxide is normally transported in the blood as weak carbonic acid. So it means that conversion of glucose in the body brings about an increase in pH, a decrease in pH, where the pH falls below 7.